there are so many things that you direct sow in your garden. And in fact, these are things that you really only can direct sow. They hate being transplanted. So without further ado, beans hate being transplanted. Whatever you do, do not transplant your beans. It's so tempting, I know. Don't even try. They are very particular about growing in warm soil, so be sure that you're sowing them after last frost wherever you are. And know that bush beans you can plant several times throughout the season, every 2 to 3 weeks, and that will ensure that you'll have great abundance of your bush beans throughout the year. If you're doing pole beans, one and done. Just plant them after last frost and you'll be enjoying them all the way to frost in the fall. Another thing that loves being direct sown and hates being transplanted are peas. And peas you want to plant directly in the soils as soon as the snows melt. So that's something that you do first thing in the spring, and they really don't grow well in the summer, but you can grow another crop in the fall. Those are often the sweetest. So grow dwarf peas, think like second, third week in August, and then you'll be eating them right as the frosts are coming. They will be the sweetest peas you've ever tasted. And cucurbits also hate being transplanted. Cucurbits are cucumbers and zucchini and all kinds of things. Here's that one. Honey nut is one of my favorite winter squashes. It's the super small, super sweet butternut style squash. And all of these hate being transplanted. Tuck them right in the ground after last frost. And you can succession sow your zucchini / summer squash. I highly recommend doing your second planting with Success PM. It's a powdery mildew resistant yellow straight neck squash, and it has really delicious nutty flavor, but it's mostly that disease resistance that ensures that you'll be getting lots of abundance from that second crop especially. Other things that hate being transplanted are watermelons and cantaloupe. Tuck them right straight in the ground. And of course, root vegetables, so beets and carrots and radishes. And you can plant all of these as soon as the snows melt, all the way through, think like the second, third week in August. And then you'll be harvesting them throughout the season. They're really, the radishes especially, prefer to grow in the cold weather, so think of them as a spring-fall crop. But beets and carrots, we succession sow every 2 to 3 weeks on our farm, and that way we enjoy abundance all season long. Just a couple more to share with you today. Sweet corn. Flint corn, popcorn, den corn hates being transplanted. You can transplant all of these things technically if you're very careful, but corn especially prefers to be direct sown because it sends down this very deep taproot right off the bat. By the time you're actually seeing a plant, there's 2 to 3 times that much root in a corn plant. So it's really important that to have the healthiest corn, just tuck it right in the ground. And crows love to eat corn, so we always cover our corn with row cover with cloth, and that helps make sure that they'll not only sprout, not only be beautiful little seedlings, that they'll not be eaten by crows, so we'll actually enjoy our corn. And finally, I can't recommend highly enough always direct sowing your cilantro. Cilantro hates being transplanted, and if it's transplanted, it will be more stressed, and stressed cilantro bolts fast. We all have cilantro that bolts way too fast, and one of the very best ways is to simply direct sow it every time. The other thing that cilantro loves is cold. It actually grows best in the cold and will bolt less quickly in the cold, where in the summer it's fairly inevitable to have a constant supply of cilantro. You really need to be sowing it every 2 to 3 weeks to have a consistent supply throughout the season. So there you have it, friends. There are lots of things that are transplantable, that are fun to transplant, that in fact love to be transplanted. But there are all these things that keep it simple. Just throw them directly in the ground. I hope this has been helpful, and feel free to give us a call, write us an email, continue the conversation anytime.